Ah, the power of a promise, the delicate, shimmering allure of something that isn't quite real, yet feels impossibly tangible. This is the spell of future faking, a narcissist's masterpiece, the art of building castles in the air, filling them with dreams you dare to dream, only to find yourself standing on shifting sands. Let us talk about this strange and insidious tactic, a manipulation so expertly wielded that it ensnares even the strongest among us. And let us speak of freedom, how to break from it. You see, when you are tangled in the web of a narcissist, particularly one skilled in future faking, you are not merely ensnared by the present. No, the trap extends both forwards and backwards in time. They don't just sell you a future, they tether you to an idealized past and hold you hostage in an emotional purgatory. Shall we walk through it together? Let us peer into the gilded cage they construct and the escape routes you must uncover. The narcissist begins with a promise, not just any promise. Oh no, it's a grand, sweeping vision, a future that gleams so brightly it blinds you to the cracks in their facade, a home filled with laughter, a love so profound it defies description, perhaps a family, a partnership, a dream that feels custom-built for your deepest longings. But here's the truth, my dear friend. This promise is a mirage. It exists only as long as it serves their purpose. They are not building a future with you. They are building a mechanism to control you. Let me tell you a story. Picture a man in a desert, parched, delirious, chasing a glimmering oasis. He runs, stumbles, crawls, always just a little farther, a little longer, and when he reaches that promised oasis, nothing. The sand slips through his fingers. That is future faking. The narcissist holds the dream just out of reach, keeping you chasing, hoping, giving, until you are spent. Understand this. The narcissist's love is not love in the sense you and I know it. It is transactional, conditional, and self-serving. Imagine, if you will, a child with a shiny new toy. At first, they adore it, lavish it with attention, show it off to the world, but soon, the novelty wears off. They grow bored, and so it is with the narcissist. You are useful to them only as long as you fulfill their needs, their desires, their ego, and when you no longer serve their purpose, or when they find a shinier toy, they will discard you without hesitation. But here's the cruel twist. They won't let you go entirely. No, they'll leave just enough of a thread, a whisper of a connection, so they can pull you back when it suits them. A narcissist is, at their core, an empty vessel. No matter how much validation, admiration, or attention you pour into them, it is never enough. They are like a bucket with a hole in the bottom. No matter how much you give, it drains away. And when the bucket runs dry, do they patch the hole? No. They blame you for not pouring enough. They project their dissatisfaction onto you, making you feel as though you are the one who has failed. If only you tried harder, they say. If only you loved me better, gave me more. And in your desperation to prove your worth, you fall deeper into their trap. Now comes the truly insidious part, the blame. When their promises crumble, when their fantasy future starts to crack under the weight of reality, they will not take responsibility. Instead, they will shift the burden onto you. You ruined this, they'll say. We could have had it all if only you had been better, done more, been more. And you, in your earnestness, will believe it. You will replay every interaction, every argument, searching for the moment you went wrong. But here's the truth. You didn't. The failure was never yours. The fantasy was never real. One of the most potent weapons in the narcissist's arsenal is the idealized version of themselves they show you in the beginning. Do you remember it? That charm, that attentiveness, that intoxicating rush of being seen, desired, adored. That person was a mirage too, a mask carefully crafted to draw you in. And yet even when the mask slips, you cling to the memory of it. Perhaps, you think, if I just try harder, I can bring that person back. But that person never truly existed. And as for the future they promised, a world of happiness, love, and security, that was a tool, a weapon even, to keep you tethered to them. The longer you believe in it, the longer they hold power over you. So how do you escape this cycle? How do you break free from the chains of a promise that was never real? First, you must see the narcissist for who they truly are, not as the idealized partner they pretended to be, but as the manipulative, self-serving individual they have shown themselves to be. Second, you must let go of the fantasy. This is perhaps the hardest step, for it requires mourning something that never truly existed. But mourn you must. Mourn the illusion, grieve the loss of what could have been, and then release it. Third, reclaim your narrative. The narcissist will try to rewrite the story of your relationship, casting themselves as the victim and you as the villain. Do not let them. Remember the truth. Hold on to it and do not waver. And finally, rebuild yourself. Rediscover who you are without them. Rekindle your passions. Reconnect with the people who truly care for you, and learn to love yourself again. Let me leave you with this, my friends. The power of a promise lies not in the words themselves, but in the belief they inspire. The narcissist wields promises like a magician wields illusions, drawing your attention away from the truth. But once you see through the illusion, once you understand that the future they dangled before you was never real, their power begins to fade. So I ask you, what will you believe? The fantasy they wove, or the truth you now hold in your hands? Choose the truth, my dear friend. Choose yourself, because in the end, the only promise worth keeping is the one you make to yourself, to heal, to grow, and to live a life free from their shadow. And that, I assure you, is a promise you can keep.